Good morning. Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this fine Sunday morning, the 2nd of August, just after 9 o'clock in the morning, Celtic part time. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are. Anyway, a bit of hilarity. We're going to jump in right in. There has been some games. I've got to admit, I've had a soft start to the league. Haven't watched any football yet, and I wish I'd watched the game last night. I kind of put it on. Well, I didn't. I put it on Google to see the score, and I seen that Hearts were winning. But when you look at what happened last night, Aberdeen, and I'm going to show you a couple of things from the weekend, just purely for hilarity reasons, nothing more. I'm going to show you this one first of all, because it's hilarious. I'm just going to say that. So here he is, Mr. Staunch. Yes, Mr. I've been waiting to go to play to my boyhood heroes all my days. And yeah, Shankland. Or whatever variation of the name that you want to call him. But he's away to take a throw in. He's a striker. And he's away to take a throw in. You ready for this? Because you'll never ever have seen a throw-in quite like this one. What the hell? Who was that? Who on earth was he throwing that to? I mean, it's like, there it's up there. He throws it way up in the air. He's actually looking up at it, and then it just lands there. Nobody. Oh, we've nothing to fear this season, do we? And then it gets a bit better because not only did that happen over the weekend, this happened also. Where is it? Let me just... Oh, I've lost it. No, there it's there. Yes, this also happened at the weekend. And I switched on and Hearts were winning away to Aberdeen, and I thought, that's interesting. I thought Aberdeen might want to try and get a home win. Thought nothing of it, and just to be honest, I didn't look at the result again. And then I go online this morning. And then you see that this happened, and in the 94.37 minutes, 95 minutes, Aberdeen get a penalty, and there we go. And then the rest, they say, it's history. It's in the back of the net. Absolutely fantastic. Hearts have lost, and so have Rangers dropped points on the first weekend of the football season. We shouldn't. Oh, look for it. Where was it? So yeah, when we look at the league table this morning, you've got to remember that Celtic haven't played as yet, but when we do look at the league table, St Mirren find themselves in an uncanny position this morning. They find themselves at the top of the table, looking down on Aberdeen and then Dundee United. Then Rangers in 4th place. They're going to get pushed way down the table, aren't they? And may the season of discontent on that side of Glasgow continue. And yeah, we staunch McInnes. He'll get booted out quite well. We know it's we're only one manager away from Christmas, aren't we, at Rangers? When you look at the games that are played today, there's some tidy games being played today, but Celtic haven't played as yet. And a couple of Hearts are way down the bottom of the table. Match day 1, second bottom of the table behind Falkirk. Will they completely implode this season? Who cares? It's all about what Celtic do, isn't it? And Martin O'Neill. We're looking at some of the fixtures this afternoon. We've got St Johnstone, 2 o'clock kickoff, and then Hibernian and Motherwell. I might do a little watch along on the other channel for that game, because I think that for me was going to be the game of the weekend. Hibernian played some good football, so did Motherwell last season. So yeah, I might do a watch along on the other channel for that game. Anyway, let's get to Martin O'Neill, because Sky... Yeah, every game's on Sky this weekend. It's a full weekend of every single game in Scotland on Sky, and then nothing. It's like they're giving you a little rich pickings, Sky. They're saying, "Oh look, we'll put every game the first weekend. We'll change the schedule and we'll piss off fans and we'll get every single game on telly, and then we've got nothing. We've got one game, and then the only games that are scheduled in are the Glasgow derbies." Fuck Sky. That's what I say. Anyway, moving on, because Martin O'Neill was asked. Martin O'Neill was asked if he knew the number of players that left the club, and he played it down, didn't he? Martin O'Neill did play it down, and he said that 14. And I thought it was quite embarrassing by the manager to sort of play down the squad. And he turned around himself and he says, "Oh, we must have had a really good squad last season." Being a little bit facetious and just sort of a little bit, whatever. And then he went on to say, "Yeah, you know that one that I told you about last week that I said that might happen Monday, might happen Wednesday, still hasn't happened." Martin O'Neill says that we're making inroads with that one. And then Martin O'Neill goes on to tell us that he doesn't plan on bringing in any more centre halves at Celtic. I think personally it's the wrong decision. You can understand maybe why the club are not looking to reinforce in that department. We do have Liam Scales, who can play on the left. He could play at the back. He's not going to be playing this weekend. So we will be starting the season with Austin Trusty and Cameron Carter-Vickers. Can they forge the partnership that they had before? I think that they can. I think that the back four starting this weekend will be Cameron Carter-Vickers, Austin Trusty, Alistair Johnston, who will not be going to Everton. There's news about Everton. The stuff came out this morning. And then it will be Kieran Tierney. That will be the back four for Celtic. In the midfield, it will be Callum McGregor. It will be Benji Negrin and Arnie Engels will start in the midfield for Celtic. Arnie Engels might play more in a second defensive midfield player, and Celtic have been linked with a 6'3" midfielder, defensive central midfielder. He's valued at between 12 and 13 million by Torino, so we'll just wait. And he's a Lithuanian central midfielder. And he looks as if he's going to be the player that's maybe going to replace Arnie Engels. So the midfield three, and I'm going to go with the 4-3-3. I know we won't be playing that, but just give me time. It's going to be Arnie Engels, it's going to be Callum McGregor, and it's going to be Benji Negrin in the midfield as normal. On the bench will be Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Luke McCowan. Rio Hatate won't even make the bench, I'm afraid. Now, up front, it's going to be James Forrest on one wing. It's going to be Camilo Duran on the other. And it's going to be Kasper through the middle. That's my front three. Tenecti will be dropped to the bench. Yang will be on the bench. Callum Osmond will be on the bench to give us some extra firepower if needed. And Johnny Kenny, I expect him to be sold this week because he is now surplus to requirements. So let me jump into any back four is better with Scales not in it, says James. That's a bit harsh. Let me see some of the comments are saying about the lack, the fact that Martin O'Neill said that we're not looking to bring in central defenders because we have Dane Murray, who is capable and is a good backup player. That's all I'm going to say about Dane Murray. I know that some of you don't like him, but I'm not going to slate him. Just a young Scottish lad. I don't go down the whole fucking young thing. And then you've got Adam McGovern, Colby Donovan, Tony Ralston. The only backup that you've really got is sort of Scales and Dane Murray for the central two. And I think that's Martin O'Neill saying, well, that's more than enough going into the start of the season. Looks like Tony Ralston's going to finish. He's going to just petter out this season. I think it's going to shame. He will get some game time, Tony. He will make the Champions League squad. when we play the Champions League. And remember that the draw is tomorrow, so keep an eye on the channels tomorrow, because there's going to be a very busy day. A very busy day. Typhoon McFoster says, love the top, it's a belter. Yes, it's the old European Cup final Lisbon line top. And I thought we need to get this out because it's 2027, you know, and the 26-27 season going into that, when Celtic were great. So in that logic, we advertise who we want to play for us, come for an interview. That could easily happen to us. Some of our players don't replace them, and anything could happen. Dane Murray in Europe will be the stuff of nightmares. I'm not too sure. Scales overall player of the season for me last campaign. Interesting. Just worried about CCV's fitness. Why? He's had the whole summer to get fit. He was fit towards the end of last season. My only issue with Cameron Carter-Vickers is, can he stay injury free? Now, I know that anybody can get injuries, but the regularity that Cameron Carter-Vickers seems to get injuries at Celtic is somewhat off the friggin' scale. No Ben Arthur then. It's a shame. I thought the big lad was a solid centre-back. There's no chance that we would be able to buy him. He's contracted to 2031. There was never any chance of us buying him, and I think it was pure speculation. If we were going to buy Benji Arthur, we would be losing one of our defenders, and it doesn't look like that we're getting anyone coming in for... nobody's going to come in for Cameron Carter-Vickers. He was injured the majority of last season. Trusty was man down as well, wasn't he? So, Scales... We're kind of stuck, aren't we? Hail from Bulgaria, says Patrick, nice part of the world. 13 million for a central midfielder, no chance. We won't even get... It will all come good. It will all come good. I'm expecting some movement in the transfer window with Celtic this week. It's always the same. You get the first game of the season, and then sort of Celtic fans start panicking. Unless we know that mob across the city booing their team on the first game of the season. I mean, who boos their team the first game of the season? It's mad. Martin says no central defenders incoming. Trustee, CCV are both injury prone. God help us. But we need 8 Scots for the allocation, so I get it. Why do so many jump on Scottish and Irish players quicker than others? Then complain. Yes. And then when we lose out to Ferry or Miller. Patrick, that is... honestly, it's you do see the fans do give the Scottish and Irish contingent its stick. I have asked for people on this channel to give the Scottish players a little bit of, at least wait 4 or 5 games before you start slating them. I think that we need to I think that we've got a combination of experience and youthful players coming through. Obviously, Dane Murray's come through the system. Colby Donnan has come through the system. Adam Montgomery has come through the system also. I just noticed that half my face is, and I'm just bringing the players over there. Yeah, so you do have quite a few young Scottish. And listen, it's great for Montgomery. Adam Montgomery has went out. He's went out on loan. He's done his time. He's had his football education that one manager said that players have to go through, and now he's got his chance. He may not be the best player, but he's got to be given his chance at Celtic to prove his worth. That's what the academy's for, and that's what Martin O'Neill will bring to Celtic this season. And Martin O'Neill ultimately wants to hand over the reins at the end of this season. And so the next manager that comes in goes, do you know what? Martin O'Neill built quite a half-decent squad. Do we have a month before the transfer window closes? Yes, we do. We have a month. It closes on the 3rd of September. No, did I not have the... I did have. Yeah, it closes on the 3rd of September at 7 p.m. at night. A strange time for it to close, but yeah. Martin was shocked when the reporter tells him they got rid of 14 players. I think he was just being a little bit, oh, have we really? You don't need to tell me, I know. I can see the squad. But as I think that the Great Dane will come good this season, I think that he's on to 20 goals. I think that him and Duran will score a minimum of 50 goals between them. I think it was Paul Baird said that also. But yeah, Tierney is a top 5 players that we've got at the moment. He's amazing. If Tierney he had a good season. But let's talk about Tierney for a minute, because there was a lot of fans saying, "Oh, Tierney's made of chocolate. He's not had an injury-free season since he left Celtic. He's a thank God we got him for nothing, because he never lasts a season. He's not fit enough. He can't last 90 minutes." Was Tierney out for any length of time last season? No. And I think that Celtic managed his time overall absolutely perfect. And you've got to say, people say that Sriracha was a great player. Sriracha couldn't cross the ball in the way that Kieran Tierney can get the ball into the box. You know, if we can get Kieran Tierney starting to get back to his best, and let's face it, when you've got the likes of Casper in the team, when you've got the likes of Camilo Duran in the team, when we get another couple of players in of that quality that's been way above what we've had over the last couple of seasons, I think that you will see the best of the likes of Kieran Tierney. I think you'll see the best of Callum McGregor, because he'll not be playing pointy. Just go dancing. Doing all that stuff. Anyway, let's move on. Don't ever do that again. They didn't even wait till 90 minutes. That more booed at half time, lad. Jesus. Montgomery's there because we don't have anybody else. That's a bit of a slap in the face to the young guy. Come on. People complain about us not bringing in youth. People complain about all the youth players going away. And then when a youth player does come through the system and is given a chance, we get a comment from Hoopsaholic saying he's only there because we've nobody else. Shouldn't it be the case that every youngster that comes through the system at Celtic is given a chance in the first team if they're good enough? Celtic obviously think that Adam Montgomery is good enough. Wee Mitch, thank you for the super chat this morning. Morning, Baz, and the One Celtic Fans Views community. Hail, hail. Thank you for that, mate. Fantastic start to the morning. Thank you for that super chat. But decent Scottish players get poached, so we're left with average players. Oh, come on, stop giving the Scottish players stick. Why are we not looking at new Japanese players? Says Barry. I think that the profile that Martin O'Neill is trying to build the team around is more a type of player that can win in a European context. I know that Kyogo Furiashi, look at Kyogo Furiashi's last game for Celtic in Europe. He missed 3 basically near enough open goals, didn't he? I think that we need taller, more physical, the kind of attributes that you're given with Camilo Duran. I mean, he's not the bulkiest, but he's got a bit of height on him. He's got a little bit of physicality. He's got pace. And I think that is far more superior. I know that Dyson Maeda had pace, but I think that it's more players that know the European game better. And I think that bringing in players from Japan again, I don't know, we may do in the future, but it looks like that we're looking at a different profile of player that's a bit more athletic. I mean, Rio Hitate's not really athletic, is he? Inamura, whatever happened to him? He's gone, isn't he? Shin Yamada. We brought in Shin Yamada. What happened to him? He's away to wherever. So, I mean, Celtic have, and then there was Hateo Inamura, or whatever his name was. He lasted half a season and he was sold back to Japan, not even put on loan again. He was sold back after half a season. So Celtic have went down that route to try and get more Japanese players in. I don't think that I think that they see the lack of success overall. I think that one player that we should never have got rid of too early was South Korean. But then there we go. Anyway, it's weird that KT is almost getting the Scottish player thing, goals and great assists last season, and is somehow undervalued. Tierney did brilliant last season, I thought. We've had a fair return from 2 Japanese signings. That's it. Well, there you go. I don't know. When you look at it, with all the Japanese, yeah, you're right. The return that we've had from the Japanese signings has been Kyogo Furuhashi and Daisen Maeda. That's it. So, take from that what you wish. A couple of more quality signings. Celtic will win the title by a big margin. Oh, I'm not going to start talking about how much we're going to win the league. I'm confident that we'll win the league. I am very confident that we'll win the league this season. You always go into the season confident. Every team, every fan goes. But when you're Celtic, you know, it's not a right. It's going to be a hard season. We're going to have Champions League football. Hearts have been pumped out the Champions League already. Rangers are going to be playing in Europe. Hearts will be in Europe. Hibs, I think they had a good result the other night as well. So we'll see how the other teams react to being in European football. I think that the buzz and the excitement that we'll get for playing in the Champions League again. Well, listen, we could get a couple of absolute doons in the Champions League, as sometimes happen. But I think that Martin O'Neill is building a squad that may give us the best chance of competing, not getting through to the last 4, but give us the ability to compete on a European level. And I think that that's what Martin's focus on. So when he does hand over the reins, the keys to the Lamborghini, when he's like that driving out the door, not a Honda Civic, he will be handing over the keys of a Lamborghini, because you've got to remember, Jota will be back at some point before the end of the Champions League campaign. When you look at the players that are coming, we've been linked with other wingers. We've been linked with central midfielders. Now we're linked with a big French 6'3" central midfielder last summer, and then that didn't come to fruition. So I think that we just wait and see when. I mean, Hatate will be leaving, and as will Arne Engels. That makes us a bit weaker, a lot weaker. So we do need to bring in someone with a good bit of physicality, I would say. We should be looking at Germany and North European for physical players. That's the markets that we're looking at. Celtic have based the backline on the Huns, Shanklands. Yesterday, Martin O'Neill interviewed the reporter, advised Martin O'Neill. Yes, we've talked about that already, Jim. Rewind back and you'll see that. But yeah. We could get Carrot. Yes, we could. We could get Carrot Almaty. I said that to the missus last night, and she went, again? Yes, again. Hatate's still at Celtic because no one else wants him. Feels like we can't give him away. I think that something will happen with that one in the next week or so. I think that he will. How can you say Martin's building a Champions League team when we have only brought in 2 players? I love your optimism. Because Martin O'Neill knows the profile of the players that he wants. Martin O'Neill laughing and being, oh, did we lose 14 players? Oh, I didn't know that. Of course he fucking knew that. Sorry for swearing on Sunday morning. Of course Martin knew you lost 14 players. But you can lose 14 players that aren't of great quality. And you can bring in £10 million striker, £5 million striker, and then you go and bring in a couple of wingers, the region about £10 million each. You're going to get a central midfielder. All of a sudden, Celtic are getting close to that ceiling that I said that we would spend, around about 40 to 45 million. It's not took a lot of players for us to get to that spend that I said that we would need to get to. If we're bringing in, Martin O'Neill said it, we're bringing in quality. You could go in and get bang average players. Celtic could have got 10 players in by now. But they're obviously playing the game to bring in quality. And if that takes time, Martin O'Neill seemed a little bit more relaxed about it. Don't know, I know he was a bit pissed off in the original interview, but I think that he knows the profile of the players and he's not willing to deviate. That seems more apparent. Martin's a sly old fox. Of course he knew there was 14. And he's like, did we? And then the Celtic media guy goes, yeah, it was 14. Do you want me to name them? I'll be here all day. Yeah, go on then, name them. Joking. You could almost see it on Martin O'Neill's face going, of course I knew we bloody lost 14 players. It was me that told the club to get rid of them. Do you think that Martin O'Neill had no idea that we lost all those players? Of course he did. Jesus, honestly. But anyway, the media's got to ask the questions, as they say. Mind Larsson's boy, what happened to him? Playing in Europe somewhere. If it came down to keeping Johnson, Engels, I'd keep Johnston. Ali Johnston's not going anywhere. Talking about that, Everton, as Liverpool Echo have done a piece this morning talking about Everton are looking to bring in a younger player who's progressed through the Manchester United youth system. He was in the team that won the English Youth League last season. 20-year-old England international. They are saying it could be one for the academy, and then they say that they are saying that whilst Martin O'Neill confirmed that Davis Moyes has spoken with him about Alistair Johnston, Alistair Johnston is one of several options being considered by Everton. So he's not their main and only target. And I think that David Moyes would have spoke to Martin O'Neill, and Martin O'Neill went, David, I don't really want to sell him. Sorry, mate. You can put in an offer, but we're not selling him. It's as simple as that. So I think that that's not going to happen. I think that David Moyes will be disappointed, a bit like Rangers. Martin O'Neill spun the quality nonsense in January. Whoa. Loving the negativity coming from Hoopsaholic this morning. Martin O'Neill would never lose a team like Carrott's level, even with a team of binmen. But we haven't. We've brought in 2 players since the window opened. Do we have enough time to bring in the 4 or 5 players needed? Yes. Yes, I think that there'll be a little sort of, this week will be interesting because Martin O'Neill will sit at Celtic Park. Dermot Desmond will be at Celtic Park on Monday to see us raise the flag, and Martin O'Neill will have the opportunity to go to Dermot. Haw you. Haw. We got him. Haw. He'll be able to just say to Dermot, he'll be like, listen, fucking numbnuts is taking his time again. Do you want to give him a wee spanking on the arse? You know, and give him a clip around the ear and say, fucking hurry up, you. But anyway, I think that once that happens, and it happens every year, I think it'll be the same. Hitati frustrates the hell out of me. The player's there, if you watch him closely, he's more than capable. Yeah, it's going to be 3 or 4-0 to Celtic tomorrow. Give me your scoreline predictions in. We'll do a score prediction now. I am going to say that it will be a close. In fact, I'd say it's going to be 2-0 to Celtic. I think Celtic will struggle the first half and then they'll score 2. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see the formation, and we will be doing the team reveal video tomorrow, as always. I'm not too sure about doing a watch along yet because I'm having software issues with that, but we'll wait and see. I'll get it sorted out today, and then we'll also be doing the live tomorrow for the Champions League to see who Celtic will get in the final round of the Champions League. Where last year we were drawn against 2 potential teams. One team Celtic had demolished in the Champions League. 5-1? We demolished them in the Champions League, and everybody thought that team would get through and that Carrot Almaty would just be a walkover. I decided to watch that game last season, and I seen the team that we beat in the Champions League basically get a little school lesson from Karat Almaty. And it was no surprise to me that Karat Almaty played the exact same way. I just hope we don't get them this year, because it's too far for people to travel and all the rest of it. So it's good when you get a big amount of people. Right, let's jump into some of the score predictions. 6-0, 4-0, 0-0, 2-1. 3-0 says Jack. Typhon McFlussery says 6-1. You'll never walk alone. Paradise Huddle, 3-0. If we get Carrot, it's a chance to redo of last season. Well, they were the whipping boys in the Champions League. Patrick says it's going to be 3-1 to Celtic. Why is it not letting me? There we go. Jerry says 2-1 or 3-1. I don't see Celtic buying a big until the quality for Europe, unless Hatate gets sold. Oh, you might be surprised. You've got to remember that Celtic, once the draw is made, Celtic will have a date, and I can't remember what it is, but there'll be a date that Celtic have to get the squad registered for. Paul Bell saying Celtic 4, Dundee United 0. I think they were all fed up with Hatate. Yeah, he's like I say, I sat in Portugal. I sat right behind Hatate, who sat on the pitch. He didn't sit in the dugout. He sat out beside the staff. He didn't engage with the players at all. Even when he went to warm up with the other players, he didn't engage with them. He seems to be, and he can speak perfect English. So I don't know what the fuck's wrong with him, but he's just a huffy. Stephen Johnson goes for 5-1. Dennis says 3-0. My predictions for the weekend is 5-1 Celtic. Thomas says 5-0. 4. Oh God, you're getting into these high scores already. Just ease yourselves in, people. Just calm down a bit. Let's just get it in. Ferry talks with Anderlecht. No, we'll wait and see. 4-1 Celtic, 3-0 Celtic. I think we'll put a marker down. It'll be a solid 3-0. Ooh. Algerian winger is rumoured to be announced by Martin O'Neill. Wanted him in mid-January. 3-0 Celtic. Let me just go back up here. Good morning, Gary. Yes, I'm going to try and do a watch along for the Hibs game. I've got some software that I need to try out, because I'm not using the software that I used last season because it was causing issues with the mic. I might try it this afternoon. I've still got it, and we'll see what the quality is like. If it's distorting the microphone like it was a couple of weeks ago, I'll need to ditch it. Rio Bernardo, no doubt one more will be off. It wouldn't surprise me if Bernardo went. 4-1 Celtic, 2-0 Celtic, 3-1, 4-1. Kasper hat-trick. I'm on the hoops, so that would be interesting if he got a hat-trick first game of the season. That's definitely thrown down. Definitely thrown down the gauntlet. That would do it. 2-0, 2-1. 2-0, 4-0. Two new guys to get 2 apiece. Kasper to score first. 2-0. Dundee is always a tough game in mind. Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's going to be 2-0. Not more than that. I think that Dundee will put up a good fight, and then we'll get the goals in the second half. 3-0 the Tick. And then let me just jump through some of them. 5-0 says Jim Lister. 3-1 says Danny Cassie. 5-1. Oh, do you think that I think that we're going to go for you remember when clean sheet Casper? I think that we're going to go for a clean sheet record this season as well. I think that the defence will be wanting to just make sure that Sinisalo gets off to a great start of the season, and I think that, let's see if we can beat clean sheet Casper his time at Celtic. 3-0, 3-1. We played Dundee. Not Dundee United, but did I say Dundee United? Sorry, I know it's Dundee because Dundee United played. Anyway, I thought the Japanese players were honourable. Hatate is not. Gee, God, move on for Hatate. He's going to be leaving soon anyway. 3-5-2 with Colby, Trusty, Scales in defence. Jed, Scales is banned for 2 games. Just putting that out there. Hassan and Bertok have gone quiet. That means they're probably on their way into Celtic, knowing Celtic. 1-0 Casper, 96 minute. No, we can't do 96 minute goals again. I cannot. We have to get rid of that this season. Martin O'Neill cannot be put through a season of late goals. 3-0. Apparently Mika Brewer's accepted terms. That was about 2 weeks ago that he accepted the terms. 2-0, 2-0, 2-1. Not impressed with enough signings yet. We'll wait and see. How many's on this morning? I've never even checked. It's not been that busy this morning. There's only been 2,000 people on. Like last week, we'd hit around about 3,000 by this point of the live. But the channel is growing and it's great. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go and just subscribe, because we're trying to get to 28,000 before the end of the transfer window. And currently we are on, let me just do this. So can we get to 28,000 before the beginning of the transfer window? We're at 27,000. Let me just get this. Click on there. We are at 27,484. So can we help? Come on, just hit subscribe. Don't need to do anything else. Just subscribe, and then get us up to that 28,000 before the end of the transfer window. So we've got 1 month tomorrow. The transfer window closes a month tomorrow. Let's see if we can do it. Just do it. 4-2-2 Diamond. We'll wait and see. 4-0 Celtic. 1-0 Casper. 5 minutes waiting on VAR. Murray still at Dundee. Trusty's Maeda? What? Maeda's away. Jesus. If Jamesy control his Zimmer, he will be a force this year. Jamesy, that's all slimmed down and athletic as anything. Have you seen James? I don't see when you go to the games, right? And then you look at James Forrest this year, you're going to be like, is that his wee brother? James Forrest he looks like a sprinting athlete this year. He's lost the weight he's lost the chunkiness of his thighs. He's lost a bit of the upper body stuff, but he just looks as if he's going for pure and utter pace this season. And thank you to the people that have just subscribed to the channel. It means a lot. Thank you. It really does, honestly. Thank you so much. Jamesy, if he can control his Zimmer. Jamesy's got about that. Fucking hell. James is still got it, yeah? Oh, Jesus. Anyway. And I'm not putting that up. Oh, jeez. Have a great Sunday. Let's skip Dundee tomorrow. Yes, let's skip Dundee tomorrow. There we go. I've got 86 subscribers on my channel. Well, there you go, Helen. Just keep on fighting. Keep on going. Play the long game. That's what I've did. You know what I mean? It's just play the long game. You're here for a long time and a good time. You get more good times on this channel than yeah. Shut up. Should we risk Alistair Johnston, Benji Negron, Trusty? They've not had enough pre-season yet. Benji Negron played in the World Cup, so I don't think that his fitness in pre-season is a big issue. As did Trusty. He played in the World Cup, so I don't think that his overall fitness is a worry to Martin O'Neill. They didn't have that downtime of 4 or 5 weeks like the other players, so I think that they should be fine. Alistair Johnston, he played at the World Cup also, so I don't think that the whole pre-season game is a big issue for those players, just purely for that fact that they've only not. I think they've had a couple of weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks where they've not played games. That's just about keeping yourself going, isn't it? I don't think that it's a big issue. You know what I mean? Come on, Baz, have a word with your marketing team, son. With my marketing team, geez, I'm bottle washer, no bottle washer, but skivvy, just everything. It would be great to have a team. You know, like those big Manchester United channels. Actually, I was looking at a bit of software, and I got in touch with this company, and the company came back and went, "Yeah, it's going to cost." It was for the watch along stuff, and they were like, "Yeah, it's going to cost you about £200 a month." And I was like, "What? £200 a month for the watch along data?" I was like, "Seriously? Is it worth it?" It means that the watch along videos would probably just break even just from that costing, because that costing just anyway. We move on. Maeda was Tav's nightmare, trusty as Murray's. Oh, there we go. But both Tavernier and Dyson left, so who really cares? The curious case of James Forrest. I feel like that now, Baz. No Zimmer. Lol. James Forrest is another, because he's Scottish, ultra pro and quality. Yeah, in his twilight career. See, it's all right to say that James Forrest is in the twilight of his career. He's only 33 or something, 34. That's young. But if I say... If I say that Colby Donovan's young, if Colby Donovan's not young and James Forrest is old, we're not going down that road. On the wind up. James is scoring in the friendly bars. Does that mean the pressure is off for scoring consecutive seasons? No, he's still got to do it this season. What does the subscriber get? A free pair of sports socks. If it's Christmas and your wife's buying them, yeah, you can. Anyway, right. We're away down rabbit holes this morning. Let's just check some update for Celtic news. Nothing. Oh, let me just check this. Now, according to a clickbait site that always put out exclusives, and they're always wrong, they are saying that Alistair Johnston would prefer to join Everton ahead of Fulham if Celtic get the valuation for him. Sources have said. The same sources that claim exclusives every week, and it's a load of shite. Let's just wait and see what happens with it. If it does happen, but hope the lads from the Youth Academy perform. Yes, I hope they do as well. New subs to name the kittens. We've got the kittens' names: Willow and Fozzie. The dog's been out for a walk already, Martin. And the dog's been out an hour and a half ago. We were out for our morning walk. Way up the hill. I'm off for a school. Oh. That's on the wind up, that comment. That is just purely on the wind up, knowing that I can't just go somewhere and get a roll and square sausage and tatty scone. That's like fucking how to get him. Fucking we've got him. We've got his soft point. Right, that's me done and dusted for this morning. Have an absolutely fantastic way. Some people always look for freebies, Baz. Exactly. I've been trying to get freebies all the time. I tried to get a freebie yesterday and they said, nah, it's not happening. Well, it's going to cost you £200 a month. Every month. Just to do watch alongs. Fuck off. Anyway, have an absolutely fantastic day. Danny Cassie's coming up with a super chat of £1. Thank you for that, Danny. And what about getting some guests on? I could, but if you want to go down the road of ex-players and shit, they all want cash, mate. They all want cash. It's as simple as that. But anyway, yeah, could do. Fried egg to make mine a doubler. Have an absolutely fantastic day. I'm thinking about getting a kitten. Would you advise it? Hello. Hello. Do you remember the size that they first were when they were tiny and I could hold it in my hand? And look at the size of this one now. Willow, say hi. Right, down you go. Right, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are. I'm going to get some software issues stuff sorted out, and we'll do a watch along for the game later on today, and then we'll do a kind of update or Sunday night update, getting ready for the first game of the season for Celtic tomorrow. Celtic. Have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are.